Hello, you join us at show number 1 this weekend, where it is popping. We have just done our first run. It was a little bit of a quick turnaround from arrival to run. Well, they're not too bad. It wasn't the slickest run, but I don't think we got eliminated. We might have got a refusal. It's possible we were clear, but she was quite kind of like under my feet instead of kind of going straight on, so it was a bit scrappy from that point of view. So yeah, we need to check our results, and we've got 2 more runs. I need to check where they are, when they are. But yeah, that's how the day has begun. I have checked our results and we were not clear. We did get a refusal and we also got a bunch of time faults. But that's okay. I feel like we just needed a bit more drive. And it would have been great. So yeah, hopefully that was just, a little warm up, and we'll have a bit more speed and for our next runs. So what's the deal at this show is we've got 3 runs, and then there is potentially a 4th run if we qualify for that run, the final, which is not particularly likely. We need to either win one of our 2 graded classes, and we already did one, we didn't win, so we've got 1 more graded class. If we win that, we get through, and then there's a combined class 1 to 3, and if we come in the top 6 maybe, then we get through. So yeah, that's a possibility. I have located our rings for our remaining runs, and it is a little while until that until they will be ready for us, and they're not even on our courses yet, so we can't even start thinking about our plans. So yeah, we're just going to chill out for a bit until it's time for those. They're just starting to set up our next course, which is the combined agility. So hope they're not making it too hard. And I'm also going to attempt to film this run. So we'll see how that goes. It's Tilly. She's doing some rolling around. I'm looking at the course, I'm trying to figure it out. I have some concerns. There are some bits I'm not really sure what to do. Okay, we've scoped out the course, we've made a plan. Don't know how well it's going to work, but we're going to find out. Tilly is just stealing her toy from where it was hidden. She says, "Mwahaha, I got it. Oh, you can't hide it from me. You can't hide it from me." Well, we got round. We did all the obstacles in the right order, but it wasn't fabulous. The weaves were very slow, but it was kind of a tricky entry. We had quite a few sort of refusals, because yeah, again, she wasn't quite like, ooh, we're gonna drive forward. She also jumped the contact on the dog walk, and I nearly trod on her at one point, where my plan had been to do a blind, but I was not far enough ahead. In the end, I sort of jumped over her, which is not an official move,
And we have not long finished.
So yeah,
the large agility grade
quite possibly we could have got time files because we did some messing around, so I don't think we'll be qualifying for the final off that. So we've got one run left, which is jumping, and I'm just gonna watch that now because it's running on a different height. So yeah, we'll see whether we can have a good jumping run to finish the day. So this is our agility run. We're off. Good start. Straight onto the seesaw, nice and straight. And then that was a bit of a mess because we've got to get to these weaves. And we're just off shot trying to get that entry sorted, which we did manage. And then as you can see, she's going quite slowly, although right at the end she starts to pick up a bit of bounce. Then I did a front cross there, not the slickest, but I thought that was the only thing that was going to work. And then we've got the dog walk boing, she's not supposed to jump over the end there. And then there's a tunnel just out of shot here, which she almost didn't go in, but then she did. And then this is the bit where she almost gets run on. And then she kind of seemed like she might not go into that tunnel, but then she did. And then nice over to that tunnel, and that's this jump. And then this is our refusal, and I'm wondering if my weight was too far back. Maybe that pulls her off the jump. And then yeah, she drives nicely to the end. I've checked our results for the agility run we just did. Tilly's doing some exploring. Not sure if it's supposed to be here. So yeah, checked our results, and we got 5 faults for missing the contact on the dog walk, and then we got a refusal after that, and then we also got like 5.7 time faults, so kind of as expected. We are currently sitting in 4th, and we need to be top 6 to qualify for the final, but there's still 20 or so dogs to go, so yeah, that's not likely, but it's still possible at this moment. And I've watched the jumping course, and I do have a plan. Might be a bit ambitious. Involves a few blinds, which generally I struggle with because they kind of require me to be quite far ahead of Tilly. But yeah, that's what I'm thinking at the moment, so we'll see whether we can execute that or not. Yeah. Update, we've moved down to 6th place, so there's 18 dogs to go, and we need none of them to beat us with our million faults. So bad news, we've dropped down into 7th place. So that's sad, we have not qualified for the final. We have one more chance if we win the jumping, but we are currently still 2nd out of the grade 2s who did the agility, so that's not bad. But yeah, there are still some more dogs to go. The agility class has now closed, and although we were way out of the qualification places, we did come 3rd out of the grade 2, so it's not so bad. And everyone who qualified was grade 3, so good job we're not going up to grade 3 anytime soon. Jumping has broken for lunch actually in the middle of the intermediates, which I didn't know was the thing that happened. So yeah, presumably they'll have lunch for an hour, and then they've got at least like half an hour of intermediates, and we continue to explore areas that we may or may not be allowed in that Tilly wanted to check out. So yeah, you can see these are the sand rings, and then the grass rings are just here. Behind us there are the grass rings, and yep, we've got a grass ring for our jumping, which I think we prefer the grass rings. We're a bit more used to being on grass. So yeah, that's an exciting update from us. Okay, they're just walking our class behind us for our jumping run, and I've got big dreams for this run. which I think is dangerous. Tilly's down here. Doot, doot. Yeah, Tilly cam. I'm getting nervous. I've got a couple of blind crosses planned and I'm like, oh, I don't know if I can do them. Should I just whiff out and do front crosses? I don't know. But also there seems to be one less jump than there was for the intermediates, which I think makes it slightly easier. But yes, I'm not sure whether to be brave and try the blinds, because in theory blinds are quicker and we want to be quick, but also it kind of requires me to be in front of her. Well, in front cross you kind of do well to fit it in properly, but you'll still get it in probably. It'll just slow down a lot. But I think we need to like go for like fast and smooth, and you know, if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. That's fine, we'll learn some stuff, but I feel like we should aim for what we would ideally do, provided it's not a million miles away from our abilities. So yeah, we'll see, because I think there are a couple of opportunities where she could just drive on, like keep going straight when she's not supposed to. So yes, as always, many things which could go wrong. I just did our run and I'm really pleased with how it went. I got both my blinds in, I feel like they worked well, and she nearly got a refusal on the weekend, so I'm hoping we managed to avoid that. So she looked like she was going to pop out like on the entry, and I like stepped towards her, which maybe wasn't like ideal handling, but I was like, oh, please don't mess up. And then yeah, the weaves were really slow, but apart from that it was really good. So yeah, I'm going to check the results now. I think this class is almost closed, and we'll see where we came in the running and whether we got our clear round, which I hope that we did. Okay, so I sent around the first jump so that I could get a little bit ahead of her, and then that's my first blind, which slowed her down a little bit but went quite well. And then here's my second blind, which I feel was very nicely executed. And then here we have the weaves, and that's where she nearly popped out and I just like shoved my foot in her face. And here she is, meandering slowly through the weaves. This bit, as you can see, she's kind of come into me a bit, so that's not completely ideal. But then we run nicely into the tunnel and onto the end. I've just looked at the results and we're currently in third. And the other two ahead of us are like significantly faster than us. The one in second place is 10 seconds faster, the one in first place is 15 seconds faster, so I'm thinking, wow, we need to get a lot quicker. But I guess the weaves would have cost us a lot of time. And there were a couple of bits that were not quite so perfect. So yeah, I'll watch the footage. But yeah, it was still a really good run. But yeah, those weaves. Yeah, I don't know, she can definitely do faster than that. We were at a training workshop this week, and the teacher there told me that I was kind of shifting my weight about, and that was making Taylor think that maybe we were going to go off somewhere else, and told me to kind of keep my weight mainly on one side, and I did that once, and then she did like these amazing weaves, and I was like, oh my goodness, it's a miracle. So I don't know if I was wibbling about for these. I think she's probably kind of tired. But yeah, they were very sedate throughout. So yes, it's costing us a lot of time. And yeah, we're about to go to grade 3, where there's going to be even more super fast dogs. So, yes. You got that clear round. What was it? We're going to head home now. Tilly says, I'm tired out. I'm going to have a snooze. See you on Monday. Hello and welcome to Bank Holiday bonus show. We've just arrived and we are heading over to our ring because our class is starting in a moment. So we need to scope out the course quite quickly and get around it. We did our jumping run and it went pretty well. She did good weaves. I was pleased with her weaves. And then there was a bit where I thought she wasn't going to take the jump, so I kind of slowed down and stopped a bit, but then she actually had taken the jump, so sorry about that, Tilly. And then near the end we had a wrap which didn't go too smoothly. We could potentially have got a refusal, but yeah, I'm wondering why that was. Maybe just because I kind of slowed down and stopped, or I don't know, maybe I pulled my weight off it. I don't know, so we'll see whether it's on the video. So yeah, I need to check our results and also when our next class is. Okay, we're getting ready and we're off. So after that first one jump, she came into me, and she kind of came into me after the second jump as well. But then we got ourselves into the weaves, and look, here she goes doing some lovely weaving. And then we got a lovely jump into the tunnel, and then it came through, did a nice front cross. And this is a bit where I kind of lost track with her. I thought she hadn't come. So then we're going through another tunnel here off shot, and then we come across here, lovely. And then this is where we come round and do the wrap here on this jump, which you can see there was a bit of hesitation to go over that, and then to the finish. So we got a clear round and we won. So that's an excellent start to the day. We just done our agility run and we got eliminated for jumping over a jump the wrong way. We had a refusal before that on the same jump, and we're off. So she drives nicely forward to the dog walk. She got her contact and went on into the tunnel, and then this is this little jump sequence, so it's kind of going okay here, and then this is where it all goes wrong. And I think that my plan to do a front cross, see there, that she wasn't supposed to jump it that way. My plan to do a front cross, I think that was a mistake. I think that was caused a lot of the problems there. So here she's doing some very slow weaves, sped up a bit at the end, and then we've got some nice jumps here, and then onto the A-frame, up it nicely, and then she's just fancies hanging out on that for a bit, but then she's like, okay, I'm coming now. And then we had another little wrap there, went okay, could be, you know, a little bit slick but not too bad, and then some nice run of jumps onto the seesaw, and then a tunnel and another jump off shot to the end. We're just checking out our agility course, just in here. It's got tunnels under the A-frame and the dog walk, which is often dangerous, but it seems like it might be quite a nice course, quite flowy. That doesn't necessarily mean we'll do a good job, but we'll see. It is quite warm here today and there is not a lot of shade, and I'm wishing I'd checked the weather forecast and dressed a bit less warmly. But I've found this little bit of shade here because there's about 5 or so mediums left, and then they'll be walking, and then it will be time for the small. Okay, we did alright, and it went quite well. She jumped the content on the dog walk, potentially because there was a tunnel under it, so I kind of had to pull out to the side a bit. But apart from that, I think we were good. So I'll check the results in a second. It is hot. So I felt like she was running a bit slower, which made it easier for me. But yeah, I think the dogs are finding it hot. So yeah, not bad, not bad. Here we go. So nicely onto the dog walk, and then that's where she kind of jumps off the side and misses the contact, but then we carry on around this little loop of jumps, and then nicely through the tunnel, and then onto the seesaw. Lovely. And then we've got a wrap here, and I was very conscious of keeping my weight forward, and it seemed to go quite well. Then we got ourselves into the weaves and did some gentle weaving, and then over the A-frame, I didn't stop on it this time, and nicely around these jumps, and then into the tunnel, and then onto the final jump. We won! We had 5 faults from missing the contact on the dog walk, but yeah, we won. Oh, okay, our lovely silver blanket has blown off our car, so that's bad news. We have hot car. We've had a look at our next jumping course, and again it looks like a lovely flowing course. There's just one bit where you've sort of got to push out a bit, which I don't know how well that's going to work, and if, I don't know, you should be on the other side, but I also feel like that could be a problem, so yeah, I think I'm going to try and do it all on one side, and yeah, we'll see how it goes. We just did a jumping run. We got eliminated because Tilly went in the tunnel where she wasn't supposed to, which is kind of a shame, because apart from that it was lovely. Louise, she was a bit reluctant to do Louise. She got a bit distracted halfway along. But yeah, there were some really good bits there, so a bit of a shame. I didn't really think about the tunnel. Maybe I could have done with calling her as we were coming around, but never mind. So we've just got a steeplechase run left, so yes, we'll see how that goes. I just went to watch the recording of our jumping that we just did to see what went wrong, but the tripod blew over, so we don't have footage of that, unfortunately. We checked out the steeplechase and got a plan, so now we're just trying to find some shade to hang out in, because they're doing large at the moment. They've got intermediate and then medium, but none of them have got a huge amount of dogs. But yeah, it will be a little while until it's our turn. We'll see if we can have a grand finale to the day. And I've been thinking about this tunnel that we went in that we shouldn't have, and I'm thinking I probably didn't show the turn kind of before it happened, so that's probably something I should think about. So we just did our steeplechase run and we got ourselves a refusal, which is a shame because it was going really, really nicely. But our friend, who's an agility pro, saw us doing it, and he said that I lost connection with her because there was like a turn near the end. So I did the turn and I worried about where I was going, and so I wasn't looking at Tilly, and so she was on my other side and ran past the jump. So yeah, I don't know, we might still get in fact, we probably will get those because there's not that many people, so but yeah, that'd be disappointing. But yes, we're going to go and collect our winnings. So here we go, lovely drive forward to take all of these jumps round into the tunnel, and then out and do some more jumps, and then ooh, got a nice blind in there. Carry on, lovely. more jumps into this tunnel and over these jumps, lovely. And then this is where we do the turn, and then this is where, oh no, she just ran past the jump with me, so we had to come back. So we won the steeplechase despite our refusal, and we have collected our rosettes. So we've got these 3 magnificent first place rosettes for the jumping where we went clear, the agility where we had 5 faults, and the steeplechase where we had 5 faults. And we also got trophies. So we've got this lovely glass trophy, and then for the other 2 trophies I got treats instead of like trophy things. So we've got some braided lamb, because we do have some braided lamb, don't we, Tilly? And we've also got some kangaroo jerky. So sorry, kangaroos. So I'm not sure how long a jerky stick lasts, whether it's like a 2-second situation or like 5 minutes. I don't know, but we will find out, and I'm sure Tilly will enjoy them. We've got some chunky lamb braids in here. Hopefully they'll be good. So yeah, a pretty successful day, really. We got first place in all the classes that we didn't get eliminated in. But for context, there were far fewer dogs here than there were at Iconix on Saturday. So on Saturday there was about 20 grade 2 dogs, and today it was more like 6, and like in the steeplechase I think only like 4 ran, so they were quite small classes. But yeah, we've had a nice day, got some lovely winnings to take home and add to the border rosettes, and yeah, join us again next week for another agility show adventure.